Hello and welcome to another kooky tutorial. This time we're going to be using all the things that are on screen at the moment, so if you want to freeze it and grab the things you need and come back, because we're going to utilise the pattern that I gave away in last week's tutorial, and we're going to make a framed cat head using the lovely little boxes that are on offer at the moment in Hobbycraft. So first of all, take the back off your frame and the little piece of fiddly paper that's inside. You can see me struggling a little here. Make sure that inner piece is in place, and then use the paper for a little template to cut out a piece of backing felt. Okay, so I am using my ruler, a metal ruler, and I've got one of those rotary cutters which are quite helpful. Sometimes I struggle a little with these, but I'm trying at the moment to make sure that I use the tools that I have on hand. So here we go, cutting out that little square backing. I managed to get a little bit of the paper pattern there, but it doesn't really matter. And then making sure that we've got the right size. So grabbing the paper pattern again and cutting along the edge to make sure we've got a 10 by 10 centimetre square piece. This is the size of the frame. Obviously, if you wanted to do a bigger one, you could do with something else in it. But I think this is a nice way of using up little pieces of felt you might have left over, and it can make a really nice gift. So what I'm going to do here is, on that backing piece of cardboard that we took out, I am going to now glue down that piece of felt with some of that felt glue, which is very handy. You can use anything that you have, but I like this because it doesn't show through and it dries clear. So if it does happen to get on a piece that you don't want to see it on, then it's not really a problem. Making sure it's the right way around, and then sticking your piece of felt on and holding it down for a little while and let that dry off before we start to put things on top of it. So just leave that to dry. The next thing you'll need is the cat head template from last week, and we're going to use some felt that contrasts with the backing fabric. So I've picked a nice bright pink here, but you obviously can pick whichever colour that you would like to make your cat head from. You'll need two pieces this time to cut out, because what we're going to do is we're going to sew them together, and then that whole piece is going to be put onto the felt, and it will make a nice raised effect cat face that will look out from the frame and look quite distinguished or colourful, or both. The other bits of felt that I have here are going to be used for the features, so again those are on the pattern from last week, so do pop along to that video and grab the link from that description in order to download yourself a pattern for that if you haven't got it already. So I'm cutting out the pieces that I'm going to need for the face details, so that will be the cheeks, the nose, the little inside of the ears. And here I am now with my trusty glue, and I'm going to stick those pieces down, just a little dot on each piece, because I'm going to embroider around the edge with a stab stitch to hold them in place, which offers a nice detail and looks quite nice. I think it finishes off every little piece, and I do take the time to do each piece. Obviously if you just want to glue that down, then that's fine, but I quite like the effect that I get from the embroidery, and it just shows off the piece quite nicely. So here I am with my box of threads and my trusty needles, and I'm going to sew around each of those pieces now, so that is ready to sew to the backing piece, because we cut two pieces of these if you remember. And we're going to sew around each of those and leave a little gap just to put some stuffing inside, and then you can sew that up and that will be all ready. Here I have it positioned on the backing fabric, And I've also cut out some little circles of felt that I'm going to put on there as a little bit of decoration along with my cat face. So sticking down the cat face piece. It's quite squishy, but that's fine because that's why we have got the shadow box. And the shadow box is great for little bits of things like this. And just for a nice little gift, I think. This is something that you could perhaps also do with your children if you have some, and it would make quite a nice teacher gift at the end of the year. So it's something that doesn't cost too much. The actual frame, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, it was only £2 from Hobbycraft. It was on offer at the moment, so I thought that was quite a decent price. And little bits of felt that you may have left over, or just small pieces of material. If you wanted to, you could do it that way, but I like felt because obviously it doesn't fray and it's easy to manipulate. So here I am putting it back into its frame and pressing down those little pieces. There is a little hanging piece on the back of here, but it also would equally just stand as it is. And there it is, all finished. So simple. Looks really nice as well. Here it is displayed on a shelf. If you've liked this tutorial, please give it a like and a subscribe to my channel for more. See you next week.